Wordstock began because a Portland writer named Larry Colton, who was on a tour for a book of his in the early 2000s, kept getting sent to book festivals. And at some point he thought, why don't we have a book festival in Portland? And so he came back and decided to start one. That first year, they kind of came out with a bang with a number of really big name writers: Norman Mailer, John Irving, Russell Banks, Alice Sebold. It was unlike anything that Portland had really tried to put together before, and it immediately captivated certainly the literary community, but really more the community of readers at large. And it makes sense because it's such a great city for this kind of event.
My name's Willie Vladen. I guess the first time I was invited to Wordstock was for my novel, The Motel Life. And you know, it was a really nice festival because it's in Portland. And it's one of those things where you get to see a lot of writers you don't normally get to see, or you meet local writers that you don't normally get to see.
My name's Monica Drake, and I've been going to Wordstock since the very first year. I initially went as a volunteer, and that was around the time my daughter was born, so I went with her when she was maybe getting close to 1. And then after that, my novel came out, Clown Girl, and I went back as an author, and that was great to go back and read from my work.
The role of volunteers in putting on an event like Wordstock is so humongous, so huge, so integral that I cannot undersell it. As a matter of fact, without the volunteers, we wouldn't have a festival.
I'm Daniel Sistine, you know, like the chapel. I'm the chairman of the Department of English and Comparative Literature at Portland University. Although people might know me better as the author of a number of works of short experimental fiction. Our support for Wordstock goes well beyond lending our literary expertise. We also encourage our junior adjunct faculty to volunteer for the festival. It's only through such volunteers that the festival is able to function. And our faculty members love dedicating their time to something that's so much a piece of the larger literary world.
My name is Georgie. I'm actually looking to get back into teaching in a couple months when my son's old enough for daycare. I'm a single new mother trying to keep a foothold in the literary community. And I found that volunteering at Wordstock is just a great opportunity to stay connected, to network. Well, hopefully I can secure a tenure track position when I return in the spring. My department chair, Dan Sistine, has been on the Lit Advisory Board since the first year. He's one of the main organizers of Wordstock. I love Wordstock, and Dan is just the best boss anyone could ever have. I'm just so grateful to be a part of something so important.
So can you tell me a little bit about that email you just received?
Yeah, I just got my assignment. I get to introduce one of the many famous authors in attendance. So, I mean, usually I like to do a little research on who I'm introducing, but you know, they said they'd give me the name when I get there, and I would just read it on stage. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It's great. Yeah, I know. All done, huh? Done tight? All done tight. I'm seriously so excited. I mean, I haven't been since, before I had my son, so it's just so great. I mean, it's such an opportunity. I mean, you never know who you're going to see.
Is there anybody in particular that you want to see this year?
Well, it's not on the program, but, you know, there's a rumor going around that Chuck Palahniuk might be there. So that's...
Who's Chuck Palahniuk?
You know, he's the author of Tell All. Fight Club?
Oh.
Of course.
Come in. I'm almost ready.
Cool. Now, where are you going again?
I'm introducing a speaker at a festival.
Somebody famous?
I hope so. We're all pretty famous in my world. So you have any plans for college?
Oh, I like that song too, but you guys can listen to it, I guess. Really have no choice right now. You have no
My mom and her boyfriend weren't big fans of the arts, to say the least. So I kind of had to leave just so I didn't feel like a freak, you know. And Portland's such a great city. When I moved here, I felt, you know, it's like being with your own kind. You know, I met people that were interested in writing, and you weren't a freak for doing it, or a fool, or you know, where in Reno it was like that more.
Anybody cool?
Yeah, I think I got James Clifford, the anthropological theorist. Where is the green room? Come on. I have to get back in line. Come on. How will I recognize him?
Oh, you'll know him when you see him.
Okay, hi. And what about the green room? Where's the green room? Thank you.
The spectacle of it. It's not the kind of thing that you think of when you think of a sort of intimate literary event. It is a spectacle.
Georgie? Look at you.
Yeah.
You haven't changed at all.
Oh, thanks.
You brought your family.
Sure, that one's my husband, and this is our little addition.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
You got a gorgeous family.
Oh, thank you. How are you in your novel?
Oh, I'm well, thank you, and the novel's doing even better. It's in the editing stages right now, and I'm hoping to have it come out next summer. Speaking of novels, how about yours? I've been looking at the store. And I haven't seen anything.
Actually, just the baby's mine. The dog, Clifford, he's a social signifier, employed in this context to convey the interstitial terrain between, childhood and adulthood.
Listen, you take care, okay? Don't be a stranger, kid.
Hello, Dan.
Georgie, so, you found your guest.
Can you believe out of all the visiting stars and professors and authors, I get stuck with a dog?
I knew you would be thrilled.
You knew about this.
Sure. I set it up. You're perfect.
Is that because I'm a mom?
Sure. And it's fun, right?
I'm sure it means different things to different people to be a writer in Portland, but for me in particular, I'm lucky to be, maybe everybody is, but there's just such a strong writing community. I feel lucky to be tapped into a pretty great crew of creative people that makes writing feel very alive and very present. It's not an abstract thing done by somebody else in a book that you buy in a store. It's a living practice done by people that we all know each other, you know.
Our next guest requires no introduction, but for those of you who are not familiar, I'd like to introduce my good friend,